Hello, everyone. We're back for our sixth episode of From Heroes to Icons comic pull list, and we have quite an extensive amount of comic books to go through today. We're gonna try to give you some decent details about what's coming out, what to look out for, and a little sneak peek at anything that might be great. Also, we'll probably have our book of the week and our cover of the week. We're going to start off with Dark Horse Comics. We have Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 12, The Reckoning, number 2, by Josh Whedon and Chris Gage and Carl Story. We have 3 covers, one by Stephanie Hans, one by George Gently, and an ultra variant cover by Phil Noto. If I was to just get one, I'd probably get the Phil Noto cover. We have Ether Cawthor Golems, number 3, and that has 2 covers, one by David Rubin and the variant by Marcos Martin. From Dynamite Comics, we have one book, Sherlock Holmes Vanishing Man number 3, and we're just looking at the regular cover by John Cassidy for that. IDW has a new book out. It's called Lowlifes. This is issue number 2, and that's by Brian Buccellato and Alexis Satenek. That has 2 covers, a regular cover, and that's colored, and a black and white variant of that. Very interesting book, kind of hardcore. Reminds me of some of the shows that are on FX. Image Comics this week, we have East of West 38 with 1 cover. That's by Jonathan Hickman and Nick Dragotta. Gideon Falls number 5, that has 2 covers. That's by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, and the variant cover for that is by Scotty Young. Kick-Ass number 6 by John Romita Jr. and Mark Millar. That has about 4 covers. 2 by John Romita Jr., a regular color cover, and a sketch variant. And I believe this is a new villain that's on the 3rd cover. And the 4th cover is by Dens Cowan. The Magic Order number 2 by Mark Millar and Oliver Coble also has 3 covers. A regular cover in color and a black and white variant of that, and a Rafael Grampa variant cover. We have Skyward number 4. I told you to be on the lookout for that, and that's by Joe Henderson and Antonio Fabella. And The Weatherman number 2. That also has 2 covers. That's by Jody LaHemp and Nathan Fox. We have a Nathan Fox cover, and the variant is by Marcos Martin. For DC Comics, we have Batman 51, which will not be a disappointment to anyone. I think Batman is getting back to basics. That's by Tom King. And we have Lee Weeks filling in for the artwork, which will be fantastic. And that has 2 covers, a Lee Weeks cover and a Carrie Andrews cover. Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman number 6, writing and art by Liam Sharp. Future Quest Presents number 12. We have 2 covers for that by Morissette and Carlos Deanda. And this issue focuses on Frankenstein Jr. Real fun from back in the days. Green Lanterns 51 by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins. We have a Mike Perkins cover and a B variant by Chris Stevens. Harley Quinn number 46. 2 covers, of course. Sam Humphries and John Timms. We have a Gilliam March cover and a Frank Cho cover. Justice League number 4 by Scott Snyder and Jorge Jimenez. We have a Jorge Jimenez cover and a Wonder Woman variant by Jim Lee. There is also a sketch variant of that same cover, but it's in the $60 range for those who can get that. Those black and whites are awesome. New Challenges number 3 by Scott Snyder, Aaron Giuseppe, and Andy Kubert. And that is it for DC. Over here at Marvel Comics, we have The Avengers number 5 by Jason Aaron, Ed McGuinness, and Paco Medina. And the cover is by Ed McGuinness. Darth Vader Annual number 2 by Chuck Weeding and Leonard Kirk. And the cover is done by Mike Deodato Jr. Immortal Hulk number 3 by Al Ewing and Joe Bennett. We have the regular Alex Ross cover, and a cover B variant is by Muhad Asor. That is the Carol Danvers 50th anniversary cover. Infinity Countdown number 5 by Jerry Duggan and Aaron Cougar. That has 4 covers. The regular cover is done by Nick Bradshaw. Aaron Cougar is doing a connecting cover. Cover C is by Ron Lim. And cover D is the Adi Granoff Ultron Holds Infinity cover. Marvel First Start continues with The Life of Captain Marvel number 1 by Margaret Stoll and one of my favorite artists, Carlos Pacheco. We have a regular cover A by Julian Totino Tedesco. Cover B is by Stanley Artgerm Lau. And cover C is by none other than Joe Quesada. And that also comes with a blank variant cover. Spider-Gwen 34, which is, I believe, the last of this issue. And that is by Jason Latour and Robbie Rodriguez. That is a must pick up for anyone into the Spider-Verse type stuff. Spider-Man Deadpool 36 by Robbie Thomas and Matt Harrock. Star Wars 51 by Kieran Gillian and Salvador LaRocca. That has 2 covers. Cover A by David Marquise and cover B by John Tyler Christopher. That is an action figure variant. Thor number 3 by Jason Aaron and Mike Del Mundo. We have a Mike Del Mundo cover, and cover B is a Carol Danvers 50th anniversary variant by Tyler Christopher, and a connecting cover C by James Harren. Tony Stark Iron Man number 2 by Dan Slott and Valerio Schetti. And that has a regular cover by Alexander Lozano and a incentive cover by Mark Brooks that looks astounding. And that's in a $20-$25 range. We have some True Believers, Fantastic Four, 3 of those that are coming out. A John Byrne, a Walter Simonson, and the first appearance of Herbie the Robot. Weapon H, number 5 by Greg Pak and Corey Smith. And last but not least, we have X-Men Red number 6, both covers by Travis Charest. One is just the figure, and one is a headshot. As for our cover of the week, that will be The Life of Captain Marvel number 1, the Stanley Artgerm variant. And our book of the week will be Spider-Gwen 34, which is the conclusion of this trial of Spider-Gwen, or Gwen Stacy. And that will be the final issue of that book. And if you haven't heard, there's a book called The Ghost Spider coming out. And I don't really understand that, but Gwen Stacy is on the cover of that. And in case you missed it, Robert Kirkman came out with a book called Die, Die, Die this week. Look for that. I think that has 10 or 11 different variants. It wasn't solicited. It just popped up at the local comic book store, but it looks like that may be a very big book. And I don't remember the guy's name, but one of the executive producers and writers over at AMC's The Walking Dead helped him do this book. So that's it for this week. Make sure you support your local comic book shops and do whatever you got to do to get those books. Buy it, read it, and love it. Until next time, bye-bye.
Hey there, it's not as bad as you'd expect. True, your night is wrecked, but it could have been over. Reach now and take your karma back.